శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. In this video, we will discuss about the Guru and his role in our spiritual life. See, there is happiness in the world, no doubt, but it is only fleeting and temporary. The happiness comes and then it disappears. Misery comes, then it is followed by happiness. So, in this duality of life, we experience both misery and happiness. And we are unable to realize that the misery or sorrow is the cause for happiness, and the happiness, whatever we get in the world, is temporary and fleeting and disappears at all times. So, in this way, we lead the life subject to misery, suffering, and happiness. Nothing is permanent, but there is bliss which is eternal and real, which only the realized masters knows it and aware of it. Then, who is the master or guru? Is he subject to all these dualities of life? That is our question and our feeling also. See, the master is the door from which we can enter the divine. He is between the world and the divine. Being in the world, he is not of the world. Being in the world, he enjoys all pleasures of the life. At the same time, he knows that they're all fleeting, and the eternal bliss lies in realization of the divine. So he always dwells in that divinity, but he appears to us as an ordinary man living among us, subject to all misery, suffering, and happiness. But he is beyond both. So that's why when we are tired of the worldly ways, the worldly joys, the worldly relationships, the worldly love, at that time, like a walker walking in the sunlight finds a tree and its shade, he takes rest in the shade. He gets relieved because he walked so much in the sunlight. Finding a shade of the tree, he feels at much ease, at much peace and joy, and he rests there. Like that, we enjoy all that joy, that peace in the presence of a master. When we hear him talking of the divine, of the realities of life, whatever the accumulation of perceptions we have in our life starts melting to the ground, then we start seeing the realities of the life, not with hatred, with only love. That is the nature of all these pleasures and joys of the world. When we hear through a master, we realize that, and we will be in peace and joy. And so, we don't want to leave the presence of the master, and we try to cling to his personality. We develop some kind of fanatism, and we don't want to go beyond it because we don't know anything beyond it. But the master says, I am only an instrument of the Lord, of that infinite divinity. I am only a stream. I am only a waterfall of that cascading Ganges coming down. I am only an instrument. This small stream is connected to that infinite ocean of divine. So, whatever you are experiencing, it is not me. It is not coming from me. Whatever is coming, it is coming through me. I am only an instrument. That's why when we see a master and his conversation, it is so fresh, it is so alive, it is so joyous, it is so comforting, so soothing to our heart. Whatever he speaks, it penetrates into our heart. It does not stop at the level of intellect if you properly listen. So, as the master says, he is a Gomukh. When you see the Gomukh from where the Ganges starts flowing, it is a small flow coming from the mouth of a cow, but it is connected. It is connected to the infinite. So whatever the Ganges falling down belongs to the infinite, and it expands, finally merges into the source of its creation, that is ocean. So, master, whatever is falling from his lips is a nectar. When you listen properly, when that nectar falls on your lips, that gives a glimpse of the divine which is hidden in you. And it starts connecting itself to the source, to your real self. So, When you realize that, when you are in tune with that nature of the self that is infinite, some kind of knowing happens within you, some kind of light flashes in you, that is from the divine. So the master says, I am only an instrument. So you have to live the essence of the teaching of the master. Then you realize why the master says he is an instrument of divine, and why he is asking us to go beyond him to realize the infinite truth and divinity. That is why the master is a Gomukh. Whatever he speaks is a Gomukh. Whatever is falling from him, from his voice and lips, is the nectar of the infinite divine. In Sikh Sampradaya, they call it Gurudwara. They don't call it a temple, they call it Gurudwara. That means the door of the Guru. Guru is the door to the infinite. Guru is the door to the divinity. Because through Guru, we hear the voice of the divine. As air is present in all over the body, but we breathe only through nostrils. Like that, though God is everywhere, omnipresent, omniscient, but we realize the God or truth or infinity only through Guru. That is why we bow down to the Guru. We surrender to the Guru. But to realize the infinite divine, that is the ultimate reality. So